Good evening. Welcome to Cooking with Heather. Now, tonight we're going to do some lovely seasoned pork loin center steaks that have been seasoned with Montreal steak spice, and they're from Walmart. So now we need a knife we need to preheat and spray the pan, of course, because I do mine in a pan just because it's so much easier. Preheat and spray the pan, nicely done. There, pop it open. Careful not to cut yourself, because it's really easy to do. And you just pull it open. Now that's a strong whiff of steak spice, my gosh. Oh. I hate pre-seasoned food, but I don't hate it, I just would rather season it myself. Now anyway, here's the second one. There's the second one. We're going to cook 4 tonight. The scent is awfully strong, but we'll get past that. We'll figure it out. There's 3. That's number 3. And number 4. And they're all sizzling away. Now we throw this away and wash our hands, because we're working with a variety of foods tonight, you see. There we go. We wash our hands all nice. We dry them. And we watch as this cooks, being very careful to keep an eye on it. Now, we've got our sauce. Well, the sauce doesn't need to run quite as quick because it's definitely not as essential. Now we've got this lovely, healthy harvest capelli spaghetti. It's whole wheat, which is like what I eat. It's probably enough water. We gotta tear it all open. And you know what I'd recommend if you don't have a pasta maker? You pull it out and you snap it in half so it'll fill. And then you pull it out without trying to make a mess, which I'm not very good at. Straighten it up, you snap, toss, snap, toss. Now hopefully there's as little waste as possible. Oh, look at that, it's steaming out beautifully. Right, there's a little pasta left. Snap it in half. We'll get it up here, and we'll start it to boiling. Turn the steak down a bit so it doesn't start a fire. Get a nice little steak spoon out, steak spatula. We'll sift it. This is the best I could find, honestly. Look at how quickly it's cooking. Oy. We're going to season it with a little nice sea salt. I kind of took the lid off, but still it'll look good. We're going to throw just a hint of black pepper on the steak. It'll be very, very... Well, it's actually pork. It's pork, and it's really, really looking good. it's really, really looking good. I'm taking these tips from people who have commented on my previous videos and insisted I season steak. So we'll just give it a light dab and a good smell. Put some paprika on it as well. Not much. Some crushed red pepper. Make it lovely to taste. Some Italian seasoning. Just sprinkle that on. Some dill. A smidge of Montreal chicken because it's already got it on. And, well, let me see. Did I get everything? I didn't get the oregano. Here we go. Make them nice and tender and yummy. Steak, the pork's cooking quicker than I thought it would. Now then, we'll go on to our sauce. Since it's one of the highlights. Bear with me, the can opener takes a little more hand coordination than I've got. I do it in the sink to avoid spilling, but that might not be the best idea. And it's an old-fashioned hand can opener, so that makes it interesting. And there we go, a nice can of tomato sauce ready for the usal. And we'll dump it in here, and put it up here, and we'll play with it. We'll put it up here to heat. So now we'll put it over here, because then it's accessible to us, and we'll put this on. And then we'll pour some lovely, we'll start with the black pepper. Some salt. Some dill. Some Italian seasoning, which is great because it's sauce. We'll throw a whole bunch of that in there. Some red pepper, which is great in sauce, although I've never tried it. This is completely experimental. Some paprika. Chicken spice. Some oregano. Might have been a bit much, but, and also some chicken bits. Just a tiny bit of chicken. It's just leftover chicken I haven't gotten rid of yet. You see how I'm doing this? There's a better view. I'm just dropping it in there. Easy as she goes. See, and that's done. We'll throw that in the sink. Now, where'd that can of peas go? And some peas, because I love putting peas in spaghetti sauce. It's such a, it gives it flavor. It gives it wonderful flavor. I'm just praying this will taste good with a good martini. And it's not mocking a martini. It's basically a nice drink to go with dinner that doesn't have alcohol in it. Because I don't drink, and neither should you, but We can't help what you do. Now can we? Oh, we have to drain the pea juice. Hang on. Now be very careful when it comes to opening the lids, because you can slice yourself. And I've done it too, and it hurts like the dickens. Oops. Well, there. There it. That's it, and we'll make sure it's so nice and tucked in the garbage. I'll pick up the peas that are just hanging about all over the stove. And there's some peas in the steak, but we'll just leave them there. And now we need to stir the sauce, I'm guessing. Well, of course we need to stir the sauce. It'll look like crap if we don't stir it. Stir all that seasoning in so we can't see it. Maybe a little more spices. And the pasta is boiling nicely. Let's just stand back a minute so y'all can have a look. Look at this lovely boiling pasta, if I ever saw it. Put some salt in the steak and some oregano in there as well, or the sauce. There we go, nice and happy. It's getting a bit spicy for me, but I'll have to eat it. There, that probably will cool it down. That in the sink, we're done with that. Let's spice up this pasta, otherwise it's going to taste dull. It's going to taste duller than a doorknob. Okay, so we'll put some spices in the pasta, make it good and appetizing for when it's done. And I put dill and the ground red pepper, oregano, paprika, which was also the name of Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper's daughter in Blue's Clues. Cool fact, eh? Turn it down, it's getting a bit wild. Put some black pepper in, some salt, a little bit much, some Italian seasoning, and some of the chicken spice. Check on our meat, because our meat burns easily. I've never cooked pork before. Oh my goodness. Look at this lovely, look at how lovely it looks. Look at that. It's like awesome. Alright, we need to clean up a little so we can drain some of the... We'll put it in the rack. I've already dishes that haven't been put away yet because I've been busy. And we actually need that. Don't need that. Don't need the can opener, and we don't need all this pasta and this thing. We'll just throw that away, shall we? And just so you know, this, I believe, would be episode 5, Cooking with Heather. But nobody's counting. I just make these episodes for fun. They're quite funsies, just because I love teaching. We'll need some dishes to put the pasta in. And to filter it. Oh. It's definitely empties. Now let's have a look at the pasta, shall we? We need a fork. Oh, look at that, it looks done. Tastes done too. So we'll just filter it out. And I'm putting hot water in the pan. I'm putting hot water in the pan or the pot so that the smoke detector doesn't go off because it's a sensitive thing and it's noisy. So we'll just cool this off. Give it room to breathe and just let it sit. That's lovely pasta, isn't it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the lovely, lovely pasta. Look at that. It's really good. So that part of it's done. The meat almost looks done too. Eat this separately of the pasta. Maybe just a few more minutes. And how's our sauce? How's our beautiful... Look at the color of it. Look at the lovely color of it. How do you get sauce so pretty? And it's nice and dark and it looks warm and it looks pretty done. Whoa, shoot! Right, we're going to end it. It's definitely done if it's spitting up like that, just so you know. Put it up there to dry. Now we're just waiting for this meat. Oh, it looks so pretty. And you know what? While we're waiting for the meat, I'm going to teach you how to make my martini. Now instead of a good drink to go with this, it's a good nourishing drink. Now, instead of using cranberry juice, because I'm low on cranberry juice, I'm going to use pineapple juice. And martinis are good because you shouldn't really ought to drink. And if you must drink, you best not do it all the time, because drinking is a really sad business, and those who choose to do it are just... It's a very sad habit, and, well, just be careful. You pour some pineapple juice in. And you have a little bit of a martini. Now, let's have a taste, shall we? It's like a milkshake, which is good for me considering I can't have milk, so that's why I came up with that. And I'm sharing that with all of you lactose intolerant people in hopes that you'll be able to find some creative joy out of that. Now look, that's beautiful pasta if I ever saw it. Now let's get the sauce here. It's obviously done. Let's clean up our workstation first. Move this out of the way. Temperamental little lid, isn't it? Move all this stuff out of the way so I can show you what I'm doing. Take this over here. With this. Pour it over. Yum. We need to scrape it so we don't waste. There, that's in. It's lovely. Oh, I'm so proud of it. And see, we're just sifting it. Oh gosh, look at it. It's beautiful, isn't it? And now that the steaks are done, we're going to get a nice plate. I'm going to put some spaghetti on here, not too much, because I've never been able to eat very much. There, that's a good amount for now. Take a steak. I'm sure it's done. But to be safe, you may want to get a knife. Rinse it off, of course. You might want to cut it in. And it's lovely in the middle. So I'm assuming it's done. So I'll just eat this nice seasoned one tonight, and I'll store the other 3 for another time. And this. It's always important to clean up. Now, I've made a mess here, but that will definitely be an easy mess to clean up after all the dishes and stuff are done. That's done. We turn off our range. Put the stuff in the fridge for another day. We put it in the lovely fridge. Might have to shift some things depending on the layout of your fridge. But you've got to make sure you have enough room for everything. That's that. And depending on your mood, you might want to have bread with it or you might not. But still, it's definitely worth looking into. Now that's all sorted, and I'll put the spices away in a minute after I'm done this video. Now look at that. That may look plain, but that's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, this is Cooking with Heather, and tonight we cooked pork and whole wheat pasta. And we made a lovely almond milk and pineapple juice martini. Anyway, catch you later.